the elephant in the room for a lot of people now is all the federal money via BIL and IRA, and that's really important. It's once in a generation funding with, again, huge potential. But the reality that there are trillions, not just billions, but trillions of dollars in private money out there, not just at a global scale, but in the United States as well. And I'm not just talking philanthropic money that, as Sarah was describing, but even from financial firms and financial institutions. I mean, huge interest and I think eagerness in many cases, given sort of the risk avoidance or risk factors at play with climate change and the market opportunity, quite frankly, to unlock additional opportunity moving forward. I mean, this is just the direction I think that policy and the private sector are leaning. So this particular piece kind of touched on, COP. We can talk about all these huge priorities and really matters at a global scale to talk about all of this. But if we're to really zoom in to the U.S. and again thinking of different sort of regional variation here and just sort of different risk profiles and opportunities in front of us, what role does all this private money have here? And not just sort of launching investments for the sake of projects in infrastructure in particular. You'll often focus a lot on projects and kind of the shiny new object, but in particular focusing on people and places, right, that are going to benefit from these projects. And so part of the work that my colleagues and I are actually currently looking at is, well, how can we better define, kind of the apples and oranges here? How can we better define what are the range of green job opportunities available? What are those linked to very specific projects in places? And what are the tools and instruments that are ultimately going to unlock all this money? Because we can't just have this tunnel vision of the next 5 years. We really do need to look at systemic change, in my opinion, and what I like to call a new business as usual. And that's going to require, as I was saying before, accountability, but it's going to require a lot of money. And that money can't just come from the public sector. It has to come from the private sector too.